Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, honorable judges, respected teachers, and my fellow participants. What if the choices we make today become the reflection of our tomorrow? What if every word we speak, every habit we build, and every values we hold is reflected in the life we will face tomorrow? My name is Diza, and my speech today is entitled Your Present Reflect Your Future. This simple phrase carries a powerful truth. Our present is not just a moment we pass through. It is the foundation we are laying for everything that will come after. The theme of this competition, Voicing Change, Leading with Purpose, remind us that our voices, our actions, and our integrity today will define the kinds of society we inherit tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share 3 reflections on how our present shapes our future through our habits, our leadership, and our integrity. First, habits today, futures tomorrow. It is often said that success cannot be built in a day, but in daily actions. What we do repeatedly become who we are. Habits are like seeds. Plant good ones and they will grow into strong trees. Plant careless ones and they will grow into weeds that choke your future. Think about it. A student who studies with discipline today, even when it feels tiring, will enjoy the fruits of knowledge and opportunities later. On the other hand, someone who chooses shortcuts now will find themselves trapped by those same shortcuts later. The philosopher Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. If we want a future filled with excellence, then we must start by shaping excellent habits today. But habits alone aren't enough. Habits needs direction, and that is where the leadership comes in. Second, leadership with purpose. When we hear the word leader, many people imagine someone with a title, a position, or power. But the truth is, leadership is not about wearing a crown. It is about carrying a vision. Leadership is not the loudest voice in the room. It is the clearest purpose. Let's take an example of the student council leader who listens before making decisions, who acts fairly, and who inspires others to contribute. Or global youth movements we have seen, like students who raise their voices about climate change. They may be young, but their leadership have a global impact. Driven leadership is what our world needs the most. Leadership without purpose is empty, and leadership without values can even be dangerous. That is why the third element is so important: integrity. Third, integrity in actions. Integrity is a word we hear often, but let's give a pause to reflect on what it really means. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. It is choosing honesty over convenience. It is holding onto principles, even when faced with pressures. Without integrity, knowledge can be misused, power can be abused, and knowledge can become destructive. History has shown many leaders who lost their integrity, leaders who chose corruption, selfishness, or dishonesty. At first, they may look really successful, but in the end, their legacy will collapse like a house built on sand. On the other hand, let's think about the leaders remembered with respect, like Nelson Mandela, who chooses forgiveness over hatred, or Malala Yousafzai, who stood for education even when her life was in danger. They prove that integrity is not weakness, it is the strongest foundation for a lasting future. Let's take an example of simple integrity, like always telling the truth in any condition, showing respect with all relationship you have, or showing respect online. Ladies and gentlemen, let me return to where I began. Your present reflects your future. The habits we build, the purpose we lead with, and the integrity we hold up today are not just about the present. They are the blueprints of tomorrow. And what this means for us, it means we have to be intentional. Let's voice change with courage, even when our voices trembles. Let's lead with purpose, not for recognition, but for contribution. Let's act with integrity, even when no one is watching, because the future we dream of depends on it. The future isn't a distant dream, it is already here, written in the choices we make at this very moment. And our world, our society, our tomorrow is nothing more and nothing less than the reflection of our present today. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.